Tonight, WJZ investigates uncovering new information about the murder of a 19-year-old
She was last seen on August 22nd. Surveillance video from Hyattsville, Maryland, showing her locking the SUV that was parked in the wrong direction on the street and walking away around 1:30 in the morning, 9 miles from her house.
At 5:03 in the morning, a phone that had been buzzing with messages and missed calls suddenly went silent. That phone belonged to 18-year-old Dacara Thompson. And for investigators, that single moment of disconnection has become one of the most haunting details in her case. It wasn't just that her phone died. It was the exact timestamp, the moment where digital footprints stopped and the trail went cold. That detail has drawn national attention, sparking questions about what happened in the hours before and what that silence really means. Before we go deeper, let me pause here, because stories like this are not just headlines. They're about lives cut short, families torn apart, and communities left with scars. If you care about justice, about the truth being told and remembered, then please take a second to like this video, subscribe to Crime Bits, and click that bell icon. It's a small action, but it keeps these stories alive and ensures victims like Dakara are never forgotten. Dakara wasn't just another name in the news. She was a young woman full of potential, with friends who described her as bright and spirited. On the evening of her disappearance, she had plans like any other teenager, but the night ended in tragedy. On January 2nd, 2024, the day began like any other in Bowie, Maryland. Dakara had been in communication with friends earlier in the night, and nothing suggested danger. But investigators later pieced together that sometime after midnight, she was last seen getting into a dark-colored SUV. This wasn't a random sighting. Police traced surveillance footage that captured her entering that vehicle willingly, a fact that would later complicate the investigation. Her friends tried to reach her. Messages piled up, but by 5:03 a.m., her phone went dark. That timestamp matters. It wasn't just the end of her digital activity. It was the precise moment where she effectively disappeared from the world. For detectives, that raised a chilling set of questions. Did something happen at that exact moment? Did the person driving the SUV have something to hide? By the next day, family members grew frantic. Dakara wasn't the type to vanish without a word, and her absence triggered a missing persons report. Flyers went up, social media lit with pleas, and soon national eyes turned to Maryland as the case began to take shape. But no one was prepared for where her body would eventually be found, or who would be tied to it. Just 2 days later, on January 4th, 2024, the search ended in heartbreak. Along Route 50 in Anne Arundel County, police discovered the body of a young woman. Hours later, the confirmation came. It was Dacara Thompson. For her family, the news shattered every fragile hope they had been holding on to. But for investigators, it was the start of piecing together a timeline that would reveal chilling details. The location where her body was found was not random. Route 50 is a major highway, a place where evidence can vanish quickly under the cover of constant traffic. But detectives knew that bodies don't just end up by highways on their own. Someone placed her there. Someone wanted her to be found, or wanted to discard her without a trace. Attention turned quickly to one man, 26-year-old Hugo Hernandez-Mendez. Authorities connected him to the SUV seen in surveillance footage, and crucially to the Bowie home where police believed Dakara was killed. Forensic evidence, cell phone data, and witness accounts began to build a picture of that night. The chilling detail? The exact time her phone shut off aligned with the window investigators believe she was last alive. That detail has haunted everyone following the case. When police moved in on Hernandez-Mendez, the breakthrough came through digital forensics. Cell phone tower data placed both his phone and Dakara's in the same locations during the crucial early morning hours. Investigators also uncovered surveillance footage that showed his SUV on the roadways around the time her phone shut off. It wasn't just coincidence. Technology was painting a trail that contradicted any claim of innocence. But what truly tied him to the crime was what they found inside his Bowie residence. Forensic teams combed the home and uncovered evidence indicating that this was the likely scene of her death. Every detail was measured against the timeline, and it became clearer. Sometime before 5:03 a.m., whatever happened to Dakara happened there. Hernandez-Mendez's arrest was not without controversy. ICE issued a detainer against him, sparking debate about immigration enforcement. But beyond politics, the raw fact remained. An 18-year-old girl was gone, and the man accused of her murder sat in custody, facing charges of first-degree murder, assault, and reckless endangerment. The silence of her phone wasn't just a dead battery. It became the marker of her final moments. That detail, sharp as a knife, turned this case from mystery into tragedy. As the case unfolded in court documents, the timeline became painfully clear. Dakara entered that SUV alive, with trust, or at least without resistance. By 5:03 a.m., her digital footprint was silenced forever. Hours later, her family's world collapsed when she was found along Route 50.
My baby back. I just simply want my daughter back. Dakara abandoned, and we found her belongings in the car. So I don't know. The only thing she has with her was her phone and the location where we found.
The investigation left more than evidence. It left haunting questions about how an ordinary night spiraled into horror. For those following, the hardest part is imagining her final moments. Did she know she was in danger? Did she have time to send one last message before her phone was shut off, or was the silence forced upon her? These are the questions that live in the minds of her family, her friends, and anyone who has listened to her story. And now, the trial and justice process remain. But justice in a courtroom can never equal the life that was stolen. It can never measure the fear in those last hours, or the gap left behind in every life she touched. So I leave you with this. If it were your loved one, would you want their story to fade into silence? Help keep Dakara's voice alive. Like this video, subscribe to Crime Bits, and click the bell icon so you never miss when we bring truth to light.